Hi, welcome to the VacBin.com review of the Shark Rocket Vacuum. Now, today we're going to be testing in three major areas. We're going to be testing on carpet, on hard floors, and with attachments. This is going to be, that's probably going to be the order it's going to be in. So let's get started. As you can see, we're on carpet. We have the carpet head and the Shark Rocket. So, why don't I get some tests ready? Now these are just going to be a subset of the tests I actually use off camera to review. But here we go, just so you guys can see. A little bit of baking soda here. And if you have been watching my reviews in the past, you know what's coming next. My favorite Cheerios substitute, Honey Nut Scooters. For those of you who have not watched any of my videos, clip that back. Honey Nut Scooters are what I use to test the large pickup performance here and look for snow plowing because they are much cheaper than Cheerios. So here we go. Let me adjust the camera. And there you go, just a little mess right there. Well, let's take a look at how easily the Shark Rocket can take care of it. So I'm going to plop this on the base. Now we're going to use setting 2 here. You see the Shark Rocket, why don't I just put the head to the side and I'll show you, has 2 settings. Setting number 1 is what you use for bare floors and carpets, or area rugs, sorry. Bare floors and area rugs. And setting 1, the brush bar still spins. You can't actually turn off the brush bar on the Rocket, but it spins slowly. Setting 2, which we're going to use, spins it quite quickly. So let's see how it does. So that was one pass right there. And if you can see, it kicked a lot of the Cheerios across the room. Or the scooters, sorry. Let me move some of the scooters back over here. But I'm pretty sure you can't see this on the camera, but you can see it, it did leave a lot of the baking soda, which is surprising because a lot of these Shark vacuums can get it in one forward and back pass. But let's try it again. Still not picking it all up. Alright. And as for the scooters that were kicked, as you could see, let's try one more time getting them. But it seems like this definitely has some issues with snow plowing. Yeah, it keeps kicking some of them across the room. That's not good. Let's pull them back over here. So if you have a lot of little large debris like that, like let's say you are a mother and you do want to clean up Cheerios, this probably may not be the machine for you. But the Shark Rocket has one more trick up its sleeve. We can just hit this little orange button down here and remove the head. And yes, you can see that. So there we go. That did remove it, but there's still some baking soda in the carpet. Not great. As for the ease of use, this machine is very easy to push. In fact, it does get a little bit squirrely at times. Let me show you. So this is without anything turned on. It actually has a pull forward. It feels somewhat self-propelled. It isn't actually self-propelled, I don't believe. But when you turn it on, it definitely pulls you forward. But as you can see, just a tiny little shift in my wrist, and it definitely it can actually kink like that. But yes, that is something to watch out for on this vacuum. It does get away from you easily. Now, another thing that I think is a bit of a design flaw on this vacuum that you might not like. So the bin is pretty small. Right there you see, there you go, now you can see. That's about a quarter of the bin that we filled up just with that little mess. Now, unfortunately, you can't just take the bin out of this. If you want to go over to your garbage can, you're still attached to the cord. You can't pull the cord out. So even though you have a 35-foot reach, when you're wrapped around things, sometimes you can't go to the garbage can. So that's something to keep in mind. You have to unplug it, go to your garbage can, empty it, and it's pretty easy to empty. Some stuff does get stuck in there, but let's see, yeah. Like right up in here, you have a lot of stuff that gets stuck. But nothing a little bit of banging the thing can't get rid of. Then you have to go back and plug it in, and then put it back on the base to keep cleaning. So that's something you might want to keep in mind. So yes, this bin is way smaller than most upright vacuums, which it claims to compete with. In addition, it claims to have the power of an upright. Well, I'm just going to speak from my experience here. I have never reviewed a vacuum that hasn't been able to pick up baking soda in more than 5 passes. I went over it multiple times, and here, I'll do it again, just to make sure there's nothing left that it can get up. But it's still not picking it up. I don't think you can see it because of the way the contrast is on this camera, but there's still a spot that's pretty light colored from all the baking soda. Let's try it again now. It's faint, but it's still there. But that's fine. I have multiple uprights I can use to get that spot out. But let's put this back down here. And let's move on to the next part of the test. But first, let me just say something. It doesn't leave very good grooming marks either. They're there, but they're very faint. So it's not really digging deep into the carpet. So if you're one of those people who likes those nice vacuum lines in your carpet, this isn't the machine for you. But with that, let's move over to the hard floor portion and see how this vacuum compares. See you there. Alright, so here we are, and now we're going to do a little bit of hard floor testing. So first thing you need to do is convert it. So let's just say that I was back here in vacuum and carpet mode, and I want to switch to hard floor mode. Pretty simple. Let's see how far back I can go. All I got to do is hold on to it, because otherwise we'll fall backwards. Go down here and press the nozzle release button. And now it's really top heavy, but put it onto this, the dust away attachment. Now one little thing about the dust away, it does not stand up by itself, it tips over, so you have to always be holding on to it. But the dust away, yep, you guys can see, has this microfiber head on it. So first it will vacuum things up, and then the head will dust your floors for you. So just to test this out for the camera, we're going to put down a little bit of baking soda again. And how about, if I can get this thing to hold still, some Honey Nut scooters, because scooters make the world go round in this place. Alright, there we go. Now let's just push those over, and let's see how it does. So we're going to use setting 1 here, which is for hard floors. And let's adjust this first. There you go. Now let's take a look at how quickly I can go. Shall we? as you can see, it definitely leaves a lot of baking soda on the ground. And in addition, it clumps it up into these little piles for me. If I look on the head, it doesn't look like much baking soda is getting to the head. So let's just keep trying and seeing if I can get this up. Well, it's still clumping. It seems to have gotten a lot of the stuff off the floor, those little spots where it wasn't getting it up, but it's still clumping up, and it's not really getting to the head. In good news, it is dusting the floor though, so it's doing a good job of that. But if you have messes on your hard floors, that may be something you want to consider. Got it up, but if we look, I'm just going to lean this up here against a chair, which is conveniently right outside the camera's view. Most of that baking soda isn't really in here. It's up there, which you can't clean, and a lot of it is on the pad, which unfortunately is white. Let's take a look here. Let's see, I can't really show you it now, can I? Well, so if I lick my finger, no, this is microfiber, it doesn't want to come out. Alright. Well, there goes that plant showing you. Either way, it still left a lot in the crevices, and I'm not going to pull the camera off and show you all the crevices, because I'd rather that you guys didn't get motion sickness. But you'll have to take my word for it, that if you look right inside here, a lot of baking soda just... Can I get some? No, of course, my finger doesn't want to go down far enough. Alright, so there's a lot of baking soda in those crevices that you can't see unless you get up close. You might be able to see it way out there, those little white lines. Yeah, it's just full of baking soda that this thing won't pick up. So overall, hard floor performance, not that great. But let's move on to the attachment segment, which is going to be the last segment for this before my final words on it. And let's see how it does there, shall we? Alright, so we're back for part 3, and this is going to be the attachment round. So, as you can see here, I've got all the attachments out, along with a little lid here from a box. Now, I'm going to be using this for 2 reasons. One, it's got a little bit of dust on there, so Shark Rocket should be able to take care of that. And 2, if I put a little baking soda on it, you should be able to see it quite nicely. So, let's get started. So, we're going to try, let's try this. Now, this goes 180, or a 45-degree angle. And this is going to be, and they call this a combination because you can also pull off this brush part and get a bare attachment. Now for this purposes, I'm going to be using it with the brush on. We're all snapped in there. Now let's try it out, shall we? There we go. Yep, you can see that. Recording, and let's start. Works well. That was fast. All the dust is off. Just a little. Well, okay. Well, that's a little bit more than a little bit. But don't worry. We're just going to push some of this off the edge here, and we're going to use that for the edge test. There we go. Let's see how this works. but let's try a different attachment. Let's try this wide thing. And let's turn this on. Definitely has some power. That was sucking in the dirt before it even got to the head. Now let's try this little crevice tool and see how it works. Very good. Very nice, clean edges. Now let's, that was just a little demonstration of how they work. Let's see how they'd work in an actual use scenario, shall we? So let's put this box off to the side. And why don't I readjust the camera and let me show you a different take where I actually can show you what I mean. So here we go. This is a little entertainment area. And this is a pretty common scenario in most homes. Most homes do have a couple units here and some tight squeezes like remotes and everything. Let's see how it does, shall we? Nice and dusty. So right now I'm going to use this little small brush, turn it on. Alright, so this works pretty well for getting in a lot of tight spaces. Let's try the, I really don't know what to call this wide piece right here, and see how it does getting on top of this cable box and getting it nice and clean. It got all the dust off quite quickly. Now let's try another test. If you bear with me for 1 second, I'm going to point the camera up. And there we go. Nice vertex up there. Let's see how well it can do with the attachment wand, getting the corners clean. So we're just going to snap on the attachment wand. There we go. And let's use the crevice tool. Get up in the corner. So now, it's, like I said, they borrowed some tricks from Dyson, and they put all the weight right by your hand so you could pivot it up easily. That worked very well, and it got rid of a spider web that has been up there for a while. Now I just turn the crevice tool, and very, very easy to get up high. So that was a little bit of a demonstration there of the different attachments. Let's go back down here and back to the shark. So this was attachments. And let's move on to our last segment of today. Alright, so this is the final part of the review. This is the wrap-up and my last thoughts. Overall, this vacuum has been mismarketed. This vacuum has been marketed, as you can see on the box, which I'll show you in a second. They claim that this is better than a full-size upright Dyson. They compare it to uprights. And this machine just simply cannot perform at that level. They market it as, you know, an upright replacement. Well, there are a couple of problems with that. One, in 2013, most vacuums have a HEPA filter. Guess what this doesn't have? A HEPA filter. Instead, we have this little foam thing. It's not even foam, it's felt, and it's very dirty, and I haven't used it very long. It's should be clean. But anyway, more than that, I have allergies, pretty mild allergies. During a lot of the breaks in between filming while I was setting up the next tests, I often was coughing and sneezing, and really, if you have allergies, this is definitely not the machine for you. Please, right now, just close this video, look at a different vacuum. This is not a good machine at all. So if you were worried about dust in the air, allergies, no bueno. If you're looking for an upright replacement, this isn't it. Now, what I do see this used for, if you're looking for a machine in between uprights, you know, just quick cleanups, even then I'm kind of so-so on it because of a number of problems with it. As you could see, you have to keep this thing plugged in to empty the dirt cup. You can't detach the cord. So it's kind of hard when you go to empty the dustbin. More than that, it's a very small dustbin. It has problems picking a lot of stuff up. So if you have large messes or fine dirt, again, this probably isn't a very good machine for you. It's not good at cleaning hard floors. And look at that, there's, the bin isn't sealed well. So even though I emptied it, you probably can't see that, but this thing was spotless. I wiped it off before we started. Well, when I just put the bin back on there, it let out a little cloud of dust right onto the base unit. So it does leak a lot of dirt, and it doesn't pick up a lot of dirt. So if you have a lot of messes, probably isn't a great machine, especially for the price. They priced this thing between $150 and $250, depending on what package, where you get it, things of that nature. At $150, which is, I believe, the Walmart, if you're in the United States, the Walmart Blue Edition. I might be able to see it for a quick cleanup, but I don't think it comes with the hard floor attachment, so you get trade-offs. So, I don't know, I can't recommend this for most people. If you're looking for something, though, that's quick and easy to clean up light messes, daily, just get the pet hair off, yeah, this is probably going to be a good machine. But at the same time, there are a lot of other machines out there that cost less and do more. For example, the Shark Navigator Freestyle is a cordless machine, so you don't have to deal with having a cord plugged in. Has a very good brush roll, and is good. It doesn't snowplow as much. I mean, it does snowplow a little bit, but it does a great job at getting the stuff off, and that's only $99. So it's very hard for me to recommend this rocket. So yes, it is good for some things, like attachments. If you want to clean a lot of ceilings or things of that nature, the attachments they give you are limited, but they do work very well. So attachment use, great. Hard floors, not so great. It's good at getting the dust up, but anything more than that, and you're not going to have a very good time. Carpet performance, pretty dismal. Overall, this vacuum really just isn't cut out for the way that they sell it. So overall, I'm going to have to give this machine a 4 out of 10. This has been the VacBin review for the Shark Rocket Vacuum. This has been LogDogs321 here for VacBin.com. For the full write-up, including more things that you don't see on this video, go right down there on the bottom of this video in the description box. You'll see the website, which is VacBin.com. Just click that link and it will take you right to VacBin, where you can see the full review of this machine. This has been LogDogs321 for VacBin.com. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.